What up? What up? You know, I look and read and watch all type of stuff, looking for information, looking for inspiration, looking for a word because I need to be fed as well. And this morning I came across something that TD Jake said, and I'm going to show the video. But what he said made me really understand why houses of worship are not as effective as they could be. What do I mean by that? As you're going to see in the clip, you know, houses of worship are supposed to be the spiritual and mental comparison of doctor's offices or emergency rooms, where people go there because they're sick, because they're ill. Like, you don't go to a doctor unless you have a problem. Nobody just pops up at their doctor and say, hey, I just came to check on you, bring you lunch. You know, most of the time people go there because you have an issue. But an environment exists in houses of worship where you have to go there and act like you're perfect. You have to go there and act like you don't have shortcomings. Because in environments that if you come talking about your shortcomings, you're often judged or you're put out. And I know that there's a balance that needs to be where you just don't come in everybody just vomiting their sickness on one another. But damn, if you can't go there and say, this is what I'm struggling with, then how are you ever going to get healed? You know, it's like going to the doctor and the doctor is asking you what's wrong and you're saying nothing. You don't want to keep it 100 with them. And you know, that's a problem. And it shouldn't be like that. So this is why people can spend decades, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, going to a church, going to a mosque, going to a synagogue, going to a temple, and they never really heal. Because the environment doesn't exist where they can say, this is my problem. So people just sit in and silently suffer. So this is what we have to work on if we're in the business of improving the lives of people. And I know it takes some skill, but we have to have an environment where people can be honest amongst a group of other sick people, because everybody has something that they're working on. Everybody has something that they're working on. I remember my brother Troy from Detroit, he shared when I was up there, he said every human being has a chapter in their life that they don't want read aloud. All of us. So we got to find a way, man. We got to find a way where people can be able to bear their soul and get the help that you and I need. You said, I ain't just say you and I. I ain't perfect. I ain't perfect. I got stuff that I'm working on as well, but guess what? I'm still in the fight. Peace.
And the problem is the place that God has designed for us to get the most help. Often it's the place where we have the most pressure to live up to the image of acceptance. We dare not come to church and admit that we're not happy today. So we come in. Praise the Lord. Oh, praise the Lord. We are so good. Aren't we glad to be here today? And it makes as much sense as going to the doctor's office and never being willing to disrobe. I want you to treat me while I hide. Make me better, but I won't tell you my symptoms. Because you go in the doctor's office, how are you, Nellie? I'm fine. What are you doing here? I mean, it's like going into the emergency room and you drive up in the emergency room, you leap out of the car and you run in and say, all is well. Normally, people don't just drop by the emergency room to see how the doctor's feeling today. I brought you some apple pie. I thought you might be hungry. And yet when we come to church, we come in with this intense need to appear as if we had no need of the word we come to get. Then why then do we come? For Jesus was not attracted to people that were not sick. Jesus said, they that are not sick don't need a physician. Jesus hung out with some of the most questionable people in situations